everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. A few weeks ago, we ran the Dice Tower Retreat. This is just shy of 200 people who got together and just played a tremendous amount of time of games. 5 straight days of just games. We brought in the Dice Tower library, and I went around and watched all the games being played and kind of hosted the thing, making sure everything was going well. And I thought I would just talk about the 10 games that I think that I saw that were the most popular there. Now, of course, this is very scientific, but I mean, my number one was clearly the most popular game that was played there. And of course, I could maybe say Twilight Imperium, since I saw, I think, 3 games of that being played, and each one was, 8+ hours, so therefore that would be the longest game maybe. But I digress. Obviously, at any sort of event like this, there is groupthink. Someone plays a game, they say it's great, and they tell somebody else. But it also just gives us an idea of what's hot right now. Also, what's available in my library, too. So here we go. Again, this is in order, I think, but there's no hard, fast rule for this. Number 10 would be Red Cathedral. This small little game is really getting buzz. I reviewed it, I don't know, maybe a year ago now or less, but this moving around, it's like a big rondelle of sorts. And when people see it, I think for the first time, they're surprised that, wow, it's just a small box. But the game inside is bigger than that. And I saw a lot of people really enjoying Red Cathedral. Number 9 is Chocolate Factory. Now, this game specifically got played because once people saw the components, they told other people. And we got really beautiful upgraded components for Chocolate Factory that someone handmade for me. They're fantastic. And we told people that, and then they played it, I played it, and other people talked around. So this one is very specific to our retreat. But it is a really solid game. I wish more people would play Chocolate Factory. It's a great engine building. Literally, you're building this conveyor belt. Not literally, but you're building a conveyor belt with machines that change stuff into chocolate. It's a lot of fun. Number 8, Paleo. This cooperative game just is going around on word of mouth. People play it because I think this one's so popular because it feels different than other cooperative games. Most cooperative games are, you do good thing, game do bad thing, and you just back and forth. But this one has just a kind of a different feel. It has different scenarios. People come in and have you heard of Paleo? Like, yes, I have. It's a good game, and people were enjoying it. Number 7 is Nidavellir. Nidavellir, I played it, I think, 3 times myself at the retreat, but it was just getting pulled out consistently. The reason? It can play up to 5 very easily. I mean, you set the game up and bam, and there's lots of 5 players looking for games, and it's fast, and man, this is easily becoming one of my favorite games, and other people I see are coming on board with or without the expansion. This is one of those games that constantly I saw in play everywhere. Number 6 is So Clover. Now, party games get played a lot at conventions, and of course, I saw Time's Up, Mystic Path's the new game, but So Clover was one I constantly saw in rotation. This game in which you put cards on a clover board, write words that give people clues as to how the cards fit in. It's more of an experience, honestly, than it is a game, but it's so joyful and fun and so easy to pick up and play that this was, I think, the most played party game there. Number 5 is Cascadia. If I had known Cascadia would be as popular as it was, I might have hunted down a second copy. Cascadia was very rarely in the library. This new game from the same folks who made, not from the same company that made Calico, it has some feelings similar to Calico, but it's so easy. There's a tile and a card. Tile and a token, and you draft those pairs and then put them in front of you trying to match scoring patterns. A really simple thing, but this nature theme is very strong, very popular right now, and this game's easy to get into. I don't know if this one will hold its popularity, but for now, number 5, Cascadia. Number 4, The Lost Ruins of Arnak. Well, this one I was not surprised at all, especially since we upgraded our versions of it. In fact, since the retreat, I've upgraded it even more. This deck building, worker placement game, just very popular game. I had 2 copies. I don't have 2 copies of many games in the library, but I had 2 copies of this one, and often both were out at the same time. Number 3, I also had 2 copies of this one because I suspected it would be popular, and it was Dune Imperium. Often Dune Imperium and Lost Ruins of Arnak get compared, and they'll probably go to the end of time being compared because they came out in the same year. They're both deck building and worker placement games. But there the similarities stop. Now, definitely I saw Dune played more than Arnak, but again, at any given point you would see a couple copies of both all over the place. Number 2, a game I unfortunately had one of, is Meadow. Meadow is a game that I really think has the possibility to be a game that we're still talking about in 5 years, which is a very rare thing when it comes to any given year of games. Even last year, we were only talking about a couple games from last year. But Meadow has that. It's a simple game. You're placing tiles, collecting, and building a tableau of nature in front of you. But people will come up to me and go, this game's amazing. It hasn't got a ton of buzz, but I wonder if we're going to see a slow burn. Number 2, Meadow. And number 1, easily, is Beyond the Sun. Right before the retreat, I was getting kind of the suspicion that Beyond the Sun was very popular, so I got an extra copy for the library. I had 2 copies in the library, and it's a good thing because very rarely was not both copies out. This game about building a tech tree, well, that's pretty much the whole game and exploring space, but it's about building a tech tree. It is not an amazing game to look at, but it is constantly being played, and the people who love it because it's so different and so unique. You place your worker out there and increase your tech or move your ships. It's such a neat, fascinating game, and a lot of people are really enjoying it. There's another one that's a slow burn that I think we'll be talking about in years to come. Now again, there's plenty of other games that were played. We have almost 2,000 games in the Dice Tower library, and I would say many of those, 500 of them at least, probably got played at various points. People were pulling all sorts of unusual and unique games off the shelves, which is what I want. But these are the games that I deemed or thought were the most popular. Until next time, I'm Vasel, and you've been watching the top 10 most popular games at the Dice Tower Retreat 2021.